Today we are going to talk about non-surgical rhinoplasty, why people get it, indications for it, and also reasons that you really shouldn't get it. So I have my little nasal model here, and we're going to talk about certain features of the nose that are most commonly treated with a non-surgical rhinoplasty. So I think probably the first part to talk about is what is a non-surgical rhinoplasty? And that's essentially taking dermal filler, so a hyaluronic acid filler for most people, like your Restylane, your Juvederm, and injecting it into areas of the nose to augment it and conceal minor irregularities, asymmetries within the nose. So when we take a look at our nose model here, we can see that on this lateral profile, we can see the nasal dorsum. And sometimes people have a big bump or a small bump or just some type of imperfection on their dorsum. And what we can do if the bump is located here is we can put filler above here and even a little bit below that, and that can create a straighter looking profile. And it gives the illusion that the person had a rhinoplasty in a very non-surgical way. Sometimes people have a flat nasal tip that they like definition to. And we can put filler right in their nasal tip and it can give them a little projection, a little more refinement on their lateral profile again. There's also some maneuvers that we can rotate the nose slightly. These are subtle improvements though with the rotation. I think the most gratifying and visually pleasing part of the non-surgical rhinoplasty is addressing the profile. So we can take a look at frontal view of the nose. And there's certain things that we can't do with a non-surgical rhinoplasty. If someone has real wide nasal bones, you can't narrow them non-surgically. Also, similarly, if they have a wide nasal tip, so if their cartilages are very wide, they lack shape, you can't do anything with filler because the surgical treatment is actually refining those cartilages and reshaping them to create a more narrowed appearance to the nasal tip. And the other thing that we cannot do with the non-surgical rhinoplasty is narrow the nostrils. So if someone has a really wide nose in general, kind of wide nasal features, the nasal ala or the nostrils are pretty wide, that's a surgical issue that we need to do wedge excisions or something else to physically narrow the nostrils. But what we can do non-surgically with the nasal tip is if someone has tiny imperfections in this area, we can easily put small amounts of filler into those areas to smooth out the contours and make it more even. So I think it's really important, and I would be doing a disservice to people watching this to say that you really should look for someone that's a rhinoplasty specialist, someone that really understands nasal anatomy, because this area is not free of complications. And just like with any other injector that you go to, they should understand the anatomy that they're doing. And the nose is a very specialized area on the face. So I think someone that only has really great understanding of the nasal anatomy should be injecting noses in general. The other thing is that I only inject hyaluronic acid within the nose. Why I like that is it's resorbable, it's temporary, and it's reversible if we need to do anything in the future. Some people will inject longer lasting products or products that contain permanent particles. And I just don't agree with that, because if you come back to me or I'm seeing you for the first time for an actual surgical consultation after you've gotten non-surgical rhinoplasty and have finally decided, hey, I'd like to do a surgery, you're kind of stuck with these particles within the nose. I think it can potentially compromise your results and increase your risk of a post-operative infection. So I hope that answers most of your questions with this, and have a great day.